Okay, in the fourth part of our course, we're going to talk about the UK natural resources and climate. The United Kingdom has relatively limited supplies of economically valuable mineral resources. The once important extraction of iron ore has dwindled to almost nothing. Other important metals that are mined exclude tin and zinc. There are adequate supplies of non-metallic minerals, including sand and gravel, limestone, dolomite, chalk, slate, barite, talc, clay, kaolin, celestine, and gypsum. Sand, gravel, limestone, and other crushed rocks are used in construction. By contrast, the United Kingdom has larger energy resources, including oil and natural gas and coal, than any other European Union member. Coal, the fuel once vital to the British economy, has continued to decrease in importance. Power stations are the major customers for coal, but the industry is under considerable pressure as the operation of coal pits has become uneconomical. The discovery of oil in the North Sea led to the rapid development of oil exploitations. Since the start of production in 1975, the quantities brought ashore have grown each year, and the United Kingdom has become virtually self-sufficient in oil and even an exporter. Proven reserves were estimated at around 700 million tons in the late 1990s. Since offshore natural gas supplies from the North Sea began to be available in quantity in 1967, they have replaced the previously coal-based supplies of town gas. A national network of distribution pipelines has been created. Proven reserves of natural gas were estimated at 26.8 trillion cubic feet in the late 1990s. Self-sufficiency in oil and natural gas and the decline of coal mining has transformed the British energy sector. Nuclear fuel has slightly expanded its contribution to electricity generation, and hydroelectric power contributes a small proportion, mainly in Scotland. But conventional steam power stations provide most of the country's electricity. Okay, now we're going to talk about climate in the UK. The topic which never fails to start any conversation in Britain is weather. The Englishmen say we have no climate, only weather, and it is generally believed that England experiences weather rather than climate because of its extreme variability. Nevertheless, Britain has a generally mild and temperate climate, milder than climate in any other country at the same latitude. It is due to the influence of the warm current of Gulf Stream, which brings warm water and air across the Atlantic from the Gulf of Mexico. As a result, snow only falls occasionally and doesn't remain for long, except in the Scottish mountains where skiing is possible. Although the British Isles make up only a relatively small geographical area of the Earth's surface, differences in climate across the region do exist. The climate of the western half of the British Isles is dominated by maritime tropical and maritime polar air, whilst the climate further east is often influenced by more continental regimes. In addition to the major air masses, the strength of sunlight received at different locations in the British Isles, which varies according to latitude, also has an influence on climate. Consequently, the climate of the British Isles can be divided into 4 quarters, as we can see in the illustration. The northwest quarter, including Northern Ireland, the Lake District, and the Western Isles of Scotland, is characterized by mild winter, on average 6 degrees centigrade, and cool summers, average 15 degrees centigrade, whilst the northeast of Scotland has cold winters, on average 3 degrees centigrade, and cool summers. The southwest quarter, containing the Irish Republic, Wales, and southwest England, experiences mild winters and warm summers, on average 17 degrees centigrade. The Midlands and southeast England have cold winters and warm summers. In general, the western half of the British Isles experiences a more maritime climate during winter, whilst the east receives influence from the cold air streams from the continent. In summer, climatic differences are dominated more by latitude. The wind brings rain from the Atlantic to the hills of the west. This means that the western parts of Britain are wetter than the east, which is sheltered by the mountains. London is drier than continental cities such as Hamburg, for example. Its weather may be unpredictable, but is not particularly wet. Generally, all parts of the British Isles get a lot of rain in all seasons. The annual rainfall, as we can see in the map, is about 1100 millimeters. The mountainous areas of the west and north having far more rain than the lowlands of the south and east. Rain is fairly well distributed throughout the year, but on average March to June are the driest months and September to January the wettest. So it may be said that the British climate has three main features. It is mild, humid and changeable. It means that it is never too hot or too cold. Winters are extremely mild, so that there are places in the south where people have never seen snow. Cornwall, a part of southwestern England, is called British Riviera, as resemblance to the continental Riviera is impressive. The exceptionally mild climate, which allowed subtropical flowers and trees flourish, the sparkling blue sea, luxuriantly colored landscape and yachting resorts attract lots of tourists.